I promise you guys, this haircut looks a lot better with the gels on. I want to say 3-4 months ago, I decided to buy the Arkham games and play them for the first time. At first, I was only going to buy Arkham Knight, but then I found out that Return to Arkham was also on sale, so I ended up getting all 3 games for like $30, so that was actually a really good deal. So yeah, I played the Arkham game for the first time not too long ago. Me, the guy going around, telling people that his favorite superhero is Batman, the guy who has read all the comics, watched all the movies and TV shows, and bought all the toys. And because I am sure that most of you have already played the games, I'm not gonna review the game the way I review a movie, this is something that I am super late, years late, so I'm not gonna review the game like it just came out. So this is not gonna be like a review, it is more of, me doing something and how I feel about that thing. So the interesting thing about the Arkham games is that I actually saw the walkthrough when the game first came out. I didn't play them, but I went on YouTube and I watched people play the games. And some of them are 5-6 hours long, so it's like watching multiple movies in one sitting. The storylines are super expansive, and there's just a lot going on in this game. These are really dense game, especially when you get to Arkham Knight. Knowing that I have 3 games to play, the idea of starting the games are a bit overwhelming. It's one of those things where you're like, I want to do it, but I'm not quite ready yet, So I went and waited, then, finally bought the games and, finally play Arkham Asylum. From that moment, I could not stop playing these games. Now, let me just say this real quick. Is this one of the best video game experience I've ever had? Yes, 100%. But is this also one of the most frustrating video game experience I've ever had? Oh, absolutely. With Arkham Asylum, I know a lot of people, would put this game as their favorite in the Arkham series, and I can totally see why. The game is super charming and super, details, and it is a overall really great game, for its time. And the game, I have to say, aged really well. There's a lot of comparison between the Arkham games and, the PS4 Spider-Man game. But when I first play Arkham Asylum, I found more similarities with the Tomb Raider games, just from the visual point of view, and the use of gadgets. Just the overall look of the game reminded me more of Tomb Raider than Spider-Man. So I sat down, play Arkham Asylum, really like it, did not love it, and then this could just come down to me being a really horrible of a gamer. I am not good at gaming. I'm above average, but I am nowhere near, the streamer levels, So I sat down, I played the game, and, I really enjoy it. And all the voice actors, my God, Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, it is just so cool, hearing, Conroy's as Batman and Hamill's as Jokers, just playing the video games, and, for a moment there, I actually felt like I was Batman. It was just... It's so cool. I also really love the setting, just setting Batman in a very isolated island, and it got even more claustrophobic when he's inside all these facilities of the Arkham Asylum. All these maniacs is coming at you doing that weird scream. Gosh, that just that got to me, man. That scream from the maniac, every time they were about to attack you, they do this scream. I was like, yo, I just can't wait to knock you out right now. I think in his review for Spider-Man, Jeremy John said that he has to unlearn the combat system because the counter button in Arkham Asylum, in Arkham games in general, is triangle, and in Spider-Man is circle. For me, is I have the same problem, but backward. Because I played Spider-Man first, so now I have to unlearn, pressing a circle when someone is about to attack me instead of triangle. So I have to unlearn the Spider-Man system and adapt to the Batman Arkham system. So that was interesting. I obviously suck at first, getting killed by just like random thugs, you know, like, which is like the least Batman thing that could possibly happen, you know. But like, you know, someone just coming around the back and just, you know, just like a punch, just like a really weak, it's not even like a good punch, like a pow like that, and I just died, just like, ugh, he died, you know, like, that just looks so wrong, man, like, that would never happen to Batman. You know, for the time, I'm sure this game looks fantastic for its time. Compared to like now though, like the visual is not quite there yet. Like I could see why like people liked it, you know, back in 2007, I think. Like I said, the game's aged really well. It still looks good. But like compare that to, let's say, Spider-Man, or like some of the recent, let's say, Red Dead, or, you know, God of War, or even Arkham Asylum. I mean Arkham Knight. There's a big jump in terms of visual, and, you know, the details on, you know, the characters, the design, whatnot, and the world design. Even from Asylum to City, that was a big, you know, visual upgrade. And then you went to Arkham Knight, which is some of the best looking video game of all time. So, like, you know, the visuals, it's not bad. Like, I'm not saying it's bad at all. I'm just saying, like, compare that to today's standard, it's not quite there yet. And so when I moved to Arkham City, obviously a much bigger game, the world is a lot more dangerous, and, like, you know, there's just something about Arkham City. I love the game, don't get me wrong, I love Arkham City, but at times it just felt like the game is unnecessarily difficult. Literally, I could not get anywhere without, you know, enemies spotting me and it starts shooting me off the air. And how did I get this far into the video without talking about the Riddler? Oh my god. Whew, okay, here we go. I hate the Riddler in this game so much. Like, you know, some people, they would say like, oh, I love the Riddler, the character Riddler, but I just hate him in the game. Like, for me, I've never really find the character of the Riddler to be that interesting. I was never a big fan of the Riddler anyway. A lot of you is gonna hate me for this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I find the Riddler as a villain kind of lame. Like, I find him kind of lame. So, like, when he's pop up in the game, it's like, come on, dude. Like, what are you doing? Just planting all these, like, question marks and all these, like, trophies everywhere. Like, Batman looks stupid just going around the city finding these question marks. So by the time I got to Arkham Knight, you know, like, my skills with, you know, the game mechanics has got a lot better. The movement and the combat, I got a lot better, which is probably why I enjoy Arkham Knight a lot more than the other two. Is because, like, probably just me, because I got a lot better at that point. Listen, I'm a visual guy, you know, like, I'm a visual person. So when something is like beautiful looking, like that is really gonna get to me. And Arkham Knight is, again, one of the best looking video games of all time. This world is like so real, and the character design, like, they look so good. So yeah, I think I just spoiled the my ranking, but yeah, Arkham Knight is my favorite of the three. I would put Arkham Knight, City, and then Arkham Asylum. And I'm sure a lot of people is gonna disagree with me, and that's fine. But I guess it's just me, you know. Like, the gameplays is, I think it's a lot better than the other two. It looks a lot better for sure, and the story. Okay, the storyline is a tricky one, because I do think that Arkham City has a much more urgent story, because Batman is, like, literally dying. The story is much better paced than Arkham Knight, but from an emotional standpoint, though, I prefer Arkham Knight, because that is the game that got to me emotionally. I didn't really feel, like, sad or, like, you know, or anything for some of the characters in Arkham City. Like, you know, in the end, when the Joker killed Talia al Ghul, like, what happened to her? Like, she just died in there, and, like, in the end, Batman just carried the Joker out without, you know, like, giving Talia, who was actually helping him, like, a proper burial. Like he carried Joker out, like, that's your enemies. Like, what are you doing. But when Barbara killed herself, or we thought that she killed herself, that really got to me. The storyline with the Arkham Knight, the character, even though it was a bit obvious, and I'm not saying that because I already seen the walkthrough and all those videos on YouTube. Like the moment they announced, the new character that they created for the game, was like, that's Jason Todd. Like, don't even like try to mess with me. I know that's Jason Todd. And it was a little disappointed that they just kind of rehashed the Under the Red Hood storyline, but I didn't hate it. Part of me kind of wanted it to be an origin story of a new character, of an original character. But they just kind of went with the cheap route. But still, like, that storyline really got to me emotionally. Like when, he did the whole review, and then there's no more Arkham Knight, and he became the Red Hood, and you're fighting the Red Hood as this boss, like a boss fight. He was saying all these things like, I can still hear his laugh, when I sleep, and I was like, God damn, like that is dark. That is really dark and really, really sad. Like this kid who Bruce Wayne like raised, and now he's like traumatized by the Joker and what he did. I was just there like, gosh, like this is really sad. Like this is really some really emotional stuff. So I guess it just depends on your taste. Like if you're more into like an urgent, like a thriller type story, then the storyline from Arkham City is better. But if you want to talk about like a more emotional, like a story that would get to you, like get to where you live more, I would say Arkham Knight takes it. Also, let me talk a little bit about the Batmobile, because at first I really liked it. At first I really liked the inclusion of the Batmobile. Arkham games, they're not racing games. And I think that's the one thing that Rocksteady kind of missed out on. Like, oh, we're gonna put the Batmobile in the game, and you could like drive around the city, which is cool. But when you have to do all these like Riddler challenge, where you have to use the Batmobile to get to a certain points in certain times, listen, the control. Let me just say that the controls takes a little while to get used to. Cobra tanks. At first, the Cobra tank, and secondly, the one where like you're underground and you have to like run away from them. My God, those are so annoying. And then when you thought you were like done with those, and then you do this like a Deathstroke side challenge, side quest and whatnot, it's back. Like that was like like it was. I thought they were building up to like a one-on-one fight, like a hand-to-hand combat with Deathstroke. That would have been sick. But no, Deathstroke to get into one of those Cobra tank, and you have to do that all over again. But all in all, I think that these games are like, they're made with love and respect for the source material. Sometimes it's just really funny that the DC extended universe, they're struggling with the Batman solo movie, and you're like, I don't know what story to do. Like, dude, like, have you played these video games? Just do that. These games, they are by no means perfect, but they are really, really great. And you could see the influence that they had on modern games. Just overall, a really, really great gaming experience. In Arkham Knight, you have to like finish everything to get like the real ending. I haven't got to that yet. I'm taking like a little break from that. I will get back to that to that game soon, and hopefully get the Nightfall Protocol, the real one. And here are my ratings for the games. Arkham Asylum, 8 out of 10. I liked the games, liked a lot of aspects of the game. Didn't love it. Arkham City, 9 out of 10. Love the game. Just some minor things here and there that I did not enjoy. And Arkham Knight, 10 out of 10. Hey guys, if you got a chance to play those games, what I'm sure you have, let me know in the comment section how you feel about them. Did you like them? Did you not like them? And what is your favorite Arkham game? Let me know in the comment section as well. And if you enjoyed this review, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more reviews like this. And with that being said, I'll see you soon.